Everything just flew up in episode 4x5 of Bridgerton. Secrets are spilling, hearts are breaking, and a single question, yes or no, is about to change everything. You won't believe how fast things escalated this time. Buckle up, because nothing will ever be the same again. The episode opens with tensions so thick you could cut it with a knife. From the very first scene, you can feel the drama creeping in, like a storm that's been quietly building and is now ready to explode. The writers waste no time right from the start. There's this moment that makes you sit up straight, because you know it's going to set off a chain reaction. One character is walking through the ballroom, and the camera focuses on their expression, subtle but heavy with emotion. You can almost feel what they're holding back, an important secret, a confession, or maybe a fear that's been simmering under the surface. It's that kind of tension that grips you immediately, making you want to rewind and make sure you didn't miss anything. As the scene progresses, small interactions start hinting at larger conflicts. Every glance, every subtle nod, every whispered line carries weight. The music swells just slightly in the background, giving this sense of urgency, like something is about to break. You notice how relationships that seemed stable before are now suddenly shaky. Old arguments resurface, and even characters who seemed calm and collected are starting to crack. By the time the first major confrontation happens, you're already on edge. It's not just drama, it's a perfectly timed emotional punch that makes you lean forward, gripping your screen, almost feeling what the characters are feeling. Then comes the moment that sets the episode's tone for the rest of the story. A question is asked, a simple yes or no, but its implications are massive. It's not just about a decision. It's about loyalty, trust, and the consequences of hiding the truth. The camera lingers on reactions, showing hesitation, fear, and a flicker of defiance. Even without dialogue, you can sense the internal struggle, and it's impossible not to react along with them. You're caught in the tension because you've been invested in these characters, and now they're at a crossroads. Every heartbeat feels louder as you watch, because you know that once the answer is given, nothing will ever be the same. The first section of the episode also sets up conflicts that will explode later. You see subtle hints of betrayal and miscommunication, tiny moments that, when combined, create a storm of suspense. There's a beautiful layering of emotion, pacing, and drama that makes the episode feel alive. You notice how the writers carefully place foreshadowing, giving just enough clues to make you anticipate what's coming, but not enough to ruin the surprise. And that's what makes this start so gripping. The episode doesn't just throw you into chaos. It slowly tightens its grip, pulling you in, making you feel every emotion as the drama unfolds. By the time the first section ends, you're already hooked, waiting for the next shock, the next secret, the next twist. You feel like you're right there with the characters, watching everything spiral faster and faster. Then it happens, the scene that makes your heart skip a beat. A confrontation erupts that nobody saw coming. The tension that's been building finally breaks, and it hits like a tidal wave. It's not loud or over the top, but the way the characters interact in this moment is devastating. Every line feels loaded with meaning, every glance charged with emotion. You can almost hear the unspoken words, the anger, the fear, the heartbreak that hang heavy in the air. It's one of those scenes that makes you lean closer to your screen, your mind racing, because the stakes suddenly feel so real. The brilliance of this moment is in its subtlety. Instead of screaming and dramatic gestures, it's the quiet tension, the small choices, the pauses that make it unforgettable. One character hesitates, then steps forward, and the camera captures every flicker of doubt in their eyes. Another responds, not with words at first, but with a look that conveys betrayal, disbelief, and a flicker of hope all at once. It's raw, emotional, and impossible not to react to. As a viewer, you're drawn into this fragile bubble of suspense, and you feel every second as if it's your own life on the line. And then the twist. A revelation drops like a bomb, completely flipping the scene. You thought you knew where this was going, but suddenly the rules have changed. Relationships you thought were stable are now uncertain. Secrets that have been simmering for episodes are finally exposed. The emotional impact is immediate. You feel the shock, the confusion, the tension, your mind racing, trying to predict what will happen next. Even if you pause for a second, the suspense lingers because the scene is written in a way that pulls you in and doesn't let go. What makes this part of the episode unforgettable is how personal it feels. You're not just watching drama unfold, you're experiencing it. You notice every micro-expression, every hesitation, every shift in tone. The dialogue alone would be enough to keep you hooked, but paired with the characters' subtle reactions, it becomes electric. By the end of this section, you're left on edge, heart pounding, eager to see how the fallout will unfold. You realize that this isn't just a single shocking scene, it's a turning point that will ripple through the rest of the episode, leaving no character untouched and no relationship safe. Asterisk, and then it comes the question that everyone has been waiting for, whispered in a way that makes the entire room hold its breath. Yes or no? It seems simple, just 2 words, but in this moment, they carry the weight of every secret, every betrayal, every hope and fear that's been building for the entire season. You can feel the tension so thick it's almost suffocating. Even the background, the music, the soft rustle of dresses, the flicker of candlelight seems to pause. As if the whole world is waiting for the answer, the reactions are instantaneous and priceless. One character freezes, the decision hanging in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. You can see the conflict in their eyes, the hesitation, the doubt, and the flicker of desperation. Another character's face tightens, lips pressed together, trying not to betray the hope or the fear they feel. Every small movement is loaded with meaning. It's not just a question of yes or no, it's a question of loyalty, love, trust, and consequences. And as a viewer, you feel all of it in your chest, like a heartbeat sensing with the tension on the screen. Then comes the moment of truth. The answer, when it finally comes, isn't just a word, it's a decision that sets the rest of the episode on fire. You feel the impact immediately. Relationships shift, alliances crumble, and even those who aren't directly involved feel the ripple. It's one of those moments where you instinctively gasp, maybe even rewind, just to see how it played out. The writers didn't just create a dramatic twist, they created a domino effect that will carry through the rest of the season. The power of a single word, delivered in perfect timing, is astonishing. The aftermath is just as gripping. Characters try to process what just happened, some in silence, some with confrontation, some with tears. You can see the tension crack open, spilling out in raw emotion. Every glance exchanged now feels loaded with new meaning. Every whispered word could ignite further drama. And as you watch, you can't help but imagine the possibilities. What will the fallout be? Who will recover? And who will be changed forever? This isn't just a plot point, it's a turning point. A defining moment that escalates the stakes to a whole new level, leaving you breathless and desperate for the next scene. Asterisk, the room falls silent for a moment. But the tension doesn't disappear, it lingers, heavy and electric. Like the calm after a storm that hasn't finished raging. Every character is caught in the fallout of that one answer, and you can almost feel their hearts racing. There's confusion, hurt, relief, and even a flicker of triumph in different corners. And the camera lingers just long enough to make you notice every micro-expression. The brilliance here is that it's not over-the-top drama, it's quiet, realistic, and yet devastatingly powerful. You start to notice the subtle shifts, a hand trembling slightly, eyes darting away. A sigh barely audible, but every little detail screams what's unsaid. The emotional impact doesn't just stop with the characters. It reaches the audience too. You can't help but replay that yes or no moment in your head, thinking about what you would do, who you would trust, and how far you'd go to protect your own secrets. It's exactly the kind of scene that makes Bridgerton addictive. The show isn't just about romance or scandal. It's about human emotion, layered and raw, pulling you into the story whether you're laughing, crying, or gasping in disbelief. The aftershocks of this single choice are everywhere. Friendships are questioned, alliances are shaky, and new conflicts begin to bubble just beneath the surface, hinting at the chaos to come. Asterisk, and this is where the speculation starts to take over. You find yourself wondering, will this decision heal or destroy the relationships we've grown to care about? Which characters are about to be blindsided, and who will finally get the justice or heartbreak they deserve? The writers leave just enough breadcrumbs to keep you guessing, fueling fan theories, and sparking conversations that will last until the next episode. Even without seeing the next scenes, you can feel the tension in the air, a sense that nothing is predictable and everything is possible. It's clever, it's thrilling, and it keeps you glued to your screen, thinking ahead and imagining every potential twist. By the end of this section, you realize something important. Episode 4x5 isn't just another installment. It's a turning point. The yes or no question has cracked open a Pandora's box of emotions, secrets, and future drama. Everything feels bigger, faster, and more unpredictable than ever before. And as the screen fades to the next scene or the credits roll, you're left with a mix of exhilaration and anxiety, hungry for what comes next. The anticipation lingers, making you already eager to dive into the next episode. Knowing that the stakes have been raised and that Bridgerton's world is now more thrilling and unpredictable than ever. Asterisk, even after the screen fades, the echoes of that yes or no linger. You find yourself replaying the scene in your head, trying to catch every nuance, the hesitation, the glance, the tiniest inflection that hints at what's really going on beneath the surface. And that's when you start thinking, what does this mean for everyone moving forward? Which alliances are now fragile? And who is about to make a move that will shock us all? Bridgerton has always been brilliant at planting seeds for drama, and episode 4x5 is no exception. Every glance, every word, and every secret now feels like a potential trigger for the next big twist. You can't help but start piecing together fan theories in your head. Could this decision finally tip the balance of power between the main players? Will a long-standing secret finally come to light, changing the relationships we thought were untouchable? Some fans might say it hints at betrayal. Others might see a hint of a new romance brewing. But the beauty of this episode is that it keeps us guessing. Nothing is black or white, and every character has multiple layers, making predictions both exciting and terrifying. You feel like a detective, piecing together clues from micro-expressions and fleeting moments, knowing that the writers are deliberately keeping you off balance. Then there's the emotional fallout that you can almost feel. Characters who were confident just moments ago now seem vulnerable. You notice the subtle cracks in their composure, the tightened jaw, the sharp glance, the pause before speaking. And as a viewer, you're not just watching them, you're feeling the tension, the anticipation, the fear of what's about to come. It's the kind of emotional roller coaster that makes faceless reaction videos so fun to experience. You can pause, rewind, or just sit back and savor the intensity. But one thing is certain, this episode has set the stage for chaos, heartbreak, and jaw-dropping revelations in ways you didn't see coming. And finally, the teasing of what's next is masterful. The last moments hint at escalating tension, setting up new conflicts and emotional stakes. The unanswered questions linger. Who will recover from this? Who will betray? And who will rise from the ashes? Your mind races with possibilities, and you can't help but theorize out loud, imagining every scenario as the drama continues to unfold. This section leaves you not just reacting, but actively engaging, thinking, and speculating, because in Bridgerton, every yes or no is just the beginning, and the story doesn't stop here. You're left hungry for the next twist, eagerly waiting for the storm that's already brewing. Asterisk, the final moments of episode 4x5 leave you breathless. The tension doesn't just fade, it hangs over every scene like a shadow, a reminder that nothing will ever be the same. Every character is changed, every relationship feels fragile, and every unspoken word now carries the weight of consequences that could last the entire season. You notice the small details that make this episode unforgettable: the trembling hand, the lingering gaze, the pause before a character speaks again. It's these tiny moments that speak volumes, and they leave you thinking long after the screen goes dark. This is where the emotional gravity hits hardest. Even if you try to step back, you feel its shock, heartbreak, suspense, and anticipation all rolled into one. You realize that the yes or no wasn't just a plot point. It was a catalyst, a spark that will ignite drama in unexpected ways. Secrets are exposed, loyalties are tested, and the tiniest choice now has massive repercussions. Watching it unfold feels almost like living it. Your mind races with questions. Who will bounce back stronger? Who will crumble under the weight of truth? Who is about to make a move that nobody sees coming? And that's where the excitement begins. The aftermath isn't just emotional, it's strategic. Characters will make choices, alliances will shift, and the stakes will escalate even further. You start imagining what might happen next: secret rendezvous, whispered confrontations, and dramatic showdowns that will leave viewers gasping. This episode doesn't just entertain, it invites you to speculate, to engage, to discuss every subtle gesture and cryptic line. You're not just a viewer anymore. You're part of the unfolding drama, mentally reacting to each twist and turn with a racing heart. Finally, the wrap-up is impossible to ignore. The episode teases what's coming without giving it away, leaving you on the edge of your seat. And that's the beauty of a show like Bridgerton. It doesn't just resolve drama. It plants new seeds for more, ensuring you're hooked for every future twist. By the end, you're left with a mix of awe, anxiety, and anticipation. It's a perfect moment to engage your audience. What did you think? Who shocked you the most? How do you think the next episode will unfold? Encouraging comments, speculation, and sharing keeps the conversation alive, making the drama last far beyond the screen. And just like that, episode 4x5 isn't just watched, it's experienced, felt, and remembered. Asterisk by the time the screen fades. You're left with that unmistakable feeling, the kind that keeps you thinking long after the episode ends. Episode 4x5 didn't just escalate the drama. It threw every character into uncharted territory. The consequences of that yes or no are only beginning to show, and you can already sense the storm brewing in the coming episodes. Relationships that once seemed secure are now fragile, hidden tensions are surfacing, and secrets that were tucked away so carefully are starting to break loose. You can almost feel the ripple effects traveling through the Bridgerton world, touching every character in unexpected ways. What makes this episode unforgettable isn't just the shocking moments, it's how deeply it pulls you into the emotions of the characters. You can feel their hesitation, their fear, and even their excitement. Each glance, each unspoken word, each lingering pause carries more weight than ever before. It's a reminder that Bridgerton isn't just about romance, it's about human emotion, complex choices, and the delicate balance between love, loyalty, and ambition. And the beauty of this episode is that it doesn't give you all the answers. Instead, it leaves just enough ambiguity to make your mind spin with possibilities. As the episode closes, you start imagining what could happen next. Who will rise from this moment stronger? Who will be blindsided by betrayal or heartbreak? How will the dynamics shift between characters whose fates are now intertwined in unexpected ways? The writers have masterfully set the stage for the chaos, leaving viewers both satisfied and hungry for more. It's the kind of cliffhanger that makes you want to rewatch the scene, theorize with friends, and stay glued to the screen when the next episode drops. And finally, this is where your audience becomes part of the drama. You can prompt them to engage. Which reaction shocked you the most? Who do you think will recover? And who won't? Drop your theories in the comments. I want to know what you're thinking. It's the perfect way to keep the energy alive, encouraging fans to share, speculate, and eagerly wait for the next twist. Episode 4x5 wasn't just watched, it was experienced. And by leaving viewers with a sense of suspense, emotion, and curiosity, it ensures that Bridgerton continues to captivate long after the screen goes dark. The story has escalated, the stakes are higher than ever, and the anticipation for what comes next is almost unbearable, but that's exactly what makes it unforgettable.